Hi friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I want to share with you a piece of career advice that completely shifted my mindset and helped me make what I would consider one of the best career decisions of my life. Even though at that time I was scared, I was confused, I didn't know how it was going to work out, but I'm grateful that I received that singular career advice that literally changed the trajectory of my career. If you're someone who is multi-skilled, currently feeling stuck in your career or feeling like you want to pivot, but you're just confused about the whole thing, you're not sure if that step makes sense for you right now, I encourage you to continue watching this video as I share my experience and this singular career lesson or singular career tip or advice, whichever you choose to call it, that literally changed everything. Back in 2021, I was volunteering as a community manager at She Could Africa. At that time, I had already done a lot of things prior to that. I had worked as a front-end web developer. I had taught kids how to code. I had also done a little bit of technical writing. So as my volunteering work continued to lean towards community, I was beginning to like that career path that I had just discovered. If you've watched one of my previous videos, I shared how I stumbled into community management. So as I kept on leaning into towards community management, I started thinking that this might be a career path for me, a career path that I would want to continue to pursue. But then there was a problem. I was already a lot of things: front-end developer, technical writer, kids tutor. So I was at that point where I was wondering if I was about to confuse people and also confuse myself. Like, how am I supposed to come out to start becoming something else, just barely 2 years into my tech career? I remember being almost ashamed to build that profile in public or to talk about it publicly that I am now a community manager. And then just by some form of divine timing, Ada Ndukoyom, who is the founder of She Could Africa, reached out to me that period, asking me how my journey with She Could Africa has been, whether it's informing like the next part of my career or where I basically want to take the skills I'm getting as a volunteer to, if I want to continue on that path. Like, she just wanted to know about my plans for my career and all. And I remember telling her this, that I am feeling, that I do want to pursue community management as a career, but that I was ashamed of, showing up as that, since I was already building a profile as a front-end web developer, as a technical writer. And she gave me this advice that I'm going to share with you right now. She told me to go ahead and do my thing, and that as a matter of fact, that people are not watching me the way I think they are watching me. And even if there are people who are watching me, that what business of mine is it? It is totally up to them. That I should just focus, face my front, pursue my career, and at the end of the day, if I succeed in it, it is only the successes that count, not the failures, not the pivots. This singular piece of advice freed me. It was like that singular moment that I had been waiting for without even knowing that that is what I've been waiting for. I started to realize that people are super busy with their own lives, and you might think that they are watching you, that they are super interested in what you're doing. And yeah, sometimes people can, throw you a few glances, especially people who can be quite nosy about what's going on in other people's lives. But trust me, it just ends there. It ends at that point where they stroll through your maybe your profile or something. They are not really obsessed with what's going on with your life. They already have a hands full. I think some people even do the whole checking up on other people's lives just to distract themselves from the myriads of things going on in their life. So basically, people are too busy, okay, to follow or to monitor whatever it is that you're trying to do with your career. If you're in a similar space, you're in that point in your career where you're thinking of pivoting, but you're not sure if you should or how people will perceive your move, the first thing that I want you to live with is the fact that, number one, you're not confused. It's totally okay to explore different fields. You're only exploring out different paths, and that is totally okay. As long as you've made your research, your pivot is not as a result of incompetence, because this is something that I like to also share when it comes to pivoting, that you don't pivot careers simply because it's hard, like for flimsy reasons. I believe that before you pivot through fields, you should have at least lasted long enough to maybe even have like your first work experience, so that if you're pivoting, it could be for other reasons. Maybe you want a more flexible career, or maybe you find your passion tilting towards a different career path. Once you've figured out the reason why you're pivoting and you're currently exploring different career options, don't think that you're confused. It's totally okay to check out paths. You could even take a couple of courses across various different career paths for you to eventually find which one really sticks with you. The second thing that I want you to leave this video with is the fact that people are not watching you as much as you think they are. I know people stalk people sometimes, people could check you out on LinkedIn, but trust me, after they check you out, that is basically all there is to it. And even if there is someone who is totally obsessed with what you're doing, it is none of your business. You just go ahead and do your thing. The most important thing is that you're growing, you're exploring. Wherever you are today is not where you're going to be tomorrow, because you have a growth mindset. You're growing in your career and your personal life, you're changing, right? So whatever people have to say about what your next steps are shouldn't be something that prevents you from actually taking action. Number three thing that I want you to leave with is that you are allowed to evolve. You are allowed to rebrand. I wrote on my LinkedIn some days ago that tomorrow you might hear that I'm moving away from community management, and that's fine. You are allowed to rebrand. You can evolve. You can leave an entire industry that you've built experience over 10 years. The good thing about career is that your skills over time can't be entirely thrown away. Even if you're moving from finance to tech, the skills you garnered in finance can equally be useful in the tech industry. So feel free to rebrand at any time. You don't have to overthink it. You can take action as soon as you can. Clarity comes from action, and if you keep thinking and thinking about your own limitations, about what people think, about the hurdles you likely face, and you refuse to take action, you wouldn't even know what could have happened. You might even take action and eventually find out that pivoting was not the right decision for you, but at least you took action and you were able to find out. So yeah, that is the career advice that changed my life, and I do hope that you run along with this as well, especially if you're at that point where you're considering pivoting, especially in public, and wondering if it would seem confusing to you and to a lot of people who find you inspiring or who follow your digital footprints. And if you're in that season of uncertainty, I hope that this provides a form of encouragement for you. If this resonated with you, please do well to leave a comment in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel. I look forward to seeing you in my next video.